Astral, the visitor from Astral World itself. The mysterious being that was once introduced in Yu-Gi-Oh! ZEXAL, who was actually sent by Kazuma Tsukumo to actually reach out to Yuma in order to help him to be not just a battle duelist, but to also save the entire world, if not 3 worlds, Astral World, Earth, and Barian World. However, his original mission was basically supposed to be destroying all of Astral World, and that was on Elephas's command. But Kazuma Tsukumo took a bit of a different turn onto the mission. Now, I'm pretty sure that all of you people who've actually watched Yu-Gi-Oh! ZEXAL should already probably know what the deal is with Astral. Astral loses his memories, kind of close to like King Pharaoh Tam for the original Duel Monsters anime, and all he needs to do is to gather up all 100 numbers, which allows him to gain access to all of his memories again. Every single number that he collects, he gains an inch of his memories back in order to remember his mission that he needs to complete. But while also being with Yuma Tsukumo, he's the one who also helps Yuma Tsukumo himself be a better duelist, always helping him out with the certain types of strategies that he needs to be able to pull off in order to succeed and to gather up every single number in existence. Although from the fact that Astral was very strict about usually on how to play the duel and how to play the right moves, he's pretty much one of the best duelists I ever known, and he's actually, in my personal opinion, pretty much one of my favorite assist duelists in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Astral himself is a character who tries to also learn the identifications and the elements of human emotion. And that is pretty much all thanks to Yuma Tsukumo. It is also how they managed to also achieve the power of ZEXAL by overlaying each other into one being. While they always might have some ups and downs in their friendship, Astral will always manage to understand what Yuma is trying to say to him. And that, of course, is once again the beauty of friendship. Now, also, if we talk about his deck real quickly for just a quick second, now, of course, usually that Astral would have to use Yuma Tsukumo's deck because he actually didn't have his very own deck when he first met Yuma, so he would always have to duel with his cards. He's done that a few times against Kite, and also against number 96 twice, actually. And then, of course, during the final duel against Yuma, he used his own deck. Which, by the way, I will probably go through that deck right now, along also with some of the cards from the manga deck specifically that we have actually not got to see yet. Well, a little. So, here are the specific cards that are, of course, available to him. So, in the anime ceremonial deck that Astral uses, he uses several tons of rank up magic cards. First off, which consists of double rank up magic Utopia Force, rank up magic Dark Force, hyper rank up magic Ultimate Force, which by the way, that literally just got printed this year in Limit Over Collection The Rivals, along with a rank down magic card, rank down magic Utopia Fall. Then of course you have some of the other spell cards that he has, like Parallel Unit, Solid Overlay, Grave Chaos, Heat and Heal, and Number Fortification. Then you got the trap cards, which are Absolute Buster, the Door of Destiny, which also, there's a retrained version of that card finally, the Contract of Destiny, Overlay Excel, and Rank Revolution. And of course, the other card that is also specific to him are, of course, Xyz's Treasure, that he also uses in the anime. Now, from the extra deck for the ceremonial deck that he uses in the final 3 episodes of the duel, he specifically uses, obviously, number 39 Utopia, Utopia Ray, Utopia Ray V, Utopia Ray Victory, Utopia Beyond, and Utopia Roots, along of course with number 99 Utopic Dragon, number 25 Force Focus, and of course we can't forget these 2 other popular monsters, Shark's number 32 Shark Drake, and Kite's number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Proton Dragon. Now, here are the cards specifically that are also around in the deck, but this is specifically in the manga version, which there are some cards that are actually available to us, which I will talk to you right now, and then go for the cards that are not available. So, this is what Astral's manga deck would technically be like. So the cards that are available that we have in the TCG in the real world right now are this. We got Astraltopia, we got Astral Karibo, and we got Numbers Evail. Numbers Evail is especially one of the most powerful spell cards that you can rarely be able to pull off in a deck. And this was specifically played in the manga, and you have to use any number of monsters, like about 4 of them, to actually be able to bring up a very powerful number monster, which of course brings out the strongest monster in the manga of Astral's deck in that ceremonial duel. Now, with the Astral monsters that I just mentioned, Astraltopia and Astral Karibo, these are specifically for Astral's deck in the manga as well, but they were actually never put in the manga. They are actually existing in the TCG right now. However, we might be able to get some of these other Astral cards that are also in the manga very, very soon. Specifically, Astral Golem, Astral Knight, and Astral Magician, which are basically just retrained or duplicate versions of Gagaga Magician, Go 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 Golem, and also Zubaba Knight. Now, I may not be able to get every single card for this one in particular from the manga because there's several others of them that actually exist, and also the extra deck in particular, they actually have some of the cards that also existed in the anime as well, literally out of nowhere, which is absolutely weird, but pretty much very overpowered thanks to one card which I'll mention later. The spell and trap cards that he does at least mention in the manga are Astral Barrier, Parallel Material, which is kind of similar to Parallel Unit, Ritual Refinement, and he also has Xyz Reflect. Now, this is where things get really interesting for the extra deck. So in this case, he doesn't use any of the Utopia monsters because Yuma Tsukumo actually holds onto that card during their final duel in the manga, which is very interesting. However, there are some other powerful numbers that Astral does use in the manga version as well. Number 93 Utopia Kaiser is pretty much considered as one of the strongest, most powerful numbers in that deck specifically, the king of all numbers. Then you have number 47 Nightmare Shark, number 31 Abel's Doom, you got number 48 Shadow Lich, number 6 Chronomaly Atlantis. He's even actually got Dyson Sphere, Gingham Puppet, Master of Strings, Frozen Lady Justice, Pied Ship of Corn, number 10 White Illuminite, number 14 Greedy Saramena, 22 Zombie Stein, Volcasaurus, Master Key Beetle, Lime Monster Chariot Hisha, Thunderspark Dragon, and other cards like Commitment to Tomorrow, Numbers Exist, Spirit Foresight, Spirit Xyz Spark, Xyz Spire, and Rank Gazer. So technically speaking, Astral has got a massive amount of cards, and you could probably even combine both the ceremonial deck from the anime and the manga, and you can literally make Astral's deck the most overpowered deck in the history of the OCG or the TCG. That is if every single other card in Astral's deck in both areas are going to be printed out into the TCG sooner or later. Also, I'd like to even point out just a little bit of extra that Astral doesn't exactly have any necessary powers, except for the fact that he does have the ability to erase number 96 from existence. That was one of them, but that was a desperate attempt to making sure that he doesn't reach the numbers, and that's when he basically had to come back to Astral World to regenerate himself due to the blackness inside his heart. But in the manga, he was able to actually, I don't know, for some unknown reason, create a boulder into thin air, which is something I never thought I'd see. Holy crap, Astral got those freaking hands. But apart from that, and literally absorbing every single number that he can obtain in existence after a duel, that's pretty much all it. Also, along with the fact that he can use the Numeron code to, pretty much rewrite the course of history. But yeah, Astral is a pretty good duelist, and I love this character a lot. He's one of my, as I said, he's one of my favorite helping duelists, especially out of the many, like Atem or I, for example, or Yuto. He's my favorite helping duelist in general, and he's a really good strategist as well, to be honest. I respect Astral a lot, apart from the fact that I respect Yuma Tsukumo a lot as well, but this is why that Astral is probably Such an amazing duelist. He's got so much mystery, and as you keep on continuing gathering up the memories when you look at the manga or the anime, it's just so good, and I really absolutely love it. So let me know what you guys think about Astral. Do you like Astral as a character in Yu-Gi-Oh! ZEXAL from either the anime, the manga, or even both perhaps? And the cards that he has, do you think he's considered as pretty much one of the most overpowered duelists in the history of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series? I mean, there's plenty more powerful duelists. Don't worry, I'm going to be bringing up those in other videos. Don't you worry about that. But at this case, I really do think that Astral, to some degree, is a pretty powerful duelist. Especially in the Yu-Gi-Oh! ZEXAL series. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell to never miss a video. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and may your days be mad and rad.